You are turning in 10 minutes new of the English news of Binh Phuoc radio, television station, and newspaper. Now take a look at the top story for today, and I'm Thục Anh. Binh Phuoc developing disease-free zones for exporting animal products. Project on application of sci-tech advance in raising high-quality beef cattle handed over. Socio-economic development situation being put on the table at National Assembly sitting. Senator pledged more contribution to Vietnam-US relations. The Ministry of Agriculture Rural Development has coordinated with the Binh Phuoc Provincial People Committee to hold a conference on developing chance and disease-free zones for exporting animal products.
According to the Department of Animal Health, Vietnam has 2,210 disease-free areas and facilities and 55 cities and provinces, with 4,125 disease safety certificates issued. In the 2022 to 2030 period, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development developed and submitted to the Prime Minister for consideration and approval the national plan to implement the project on strengthening the capacity of veterinary management agencies at all levels during 2021 to 2030. In Binh Phuoc, the CPV Food Company Limited began forming a disease-free chicken production chain in 2019 for export. This is a closed production chain of feed factories, breeders, commercial chicken farms, slaughterhouses, and export processing factories in 6 districts, towns, and cities. The Provincial Department of Agriculture and Rural Development coordinated with the Department of Animal Health and a number of businesses in 2021 to survey locations for implementing projects on raising safe pigs for export. On this occasion, the Department of Animal Health and the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development presented certificates for avian influenza-free areas in 6 districts, towns, and cities in Binh Phuoc Province.
The Binh Phuoc Science and Technology Council has chaired the appraisal of the application of scientific and technological advance in raising high-quality beef cattle in Binh Phuoc Province project.
The Binh Phuoc Science and Technology Council has tracked the appraisal of the application of scientific and technological advances in raising high-quality beef cattle in Binh Phuoc Province project. The project will build a centralized model for raising 60 heads of Brahman cattle and 100 heads of Lycine cattle. Under the project, the province will build a model for beef cattle using 500 heads, supported by artificial insemination and training, technical training, and glass planting for feed. Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee and Chairman of the Provincial Science and Technology Council Trần Tuyết Minh greatly appreciated the project and suggested the project authors continue to maintain and replicate the model. The model of raising Brahman and Lycine cattle in Binh Phuoc is expected to become a provincial beef production trend in the future.
The Union of Cooperatives in Binh Phuoc Province, in cooperation with the Vocational School and Training College of Southern Cooperatives, has held a training section on production diary software for 10 agricultural cooperatives in the province.
Leaders of cooperatives attending the training course were instructed on applying the Phase Farm production diary software from the Sorimachi company in Japan in their production activities. The Phase Farm software has 10 main sections, including categories, plans, diaries, weather, statistics, friends, maps, units, and agro-pharmaceuticals, among others. Maintaining a production diary is common in agricultural production, especially in developed countries using modern agriculture. It's mandatory in developing a substantial agricultural sector, especially during extensive international integration, as this plays a vital role in traceability, increasing product value, and contributing to improving farmer incomes.
The fourth section of the 15th National Assembly continue its sitting in Hanoi on October 27 with important issues being put on the table.
Some legislators have pointed out the need to pay due attention to income and the working environment for civil servants and public employees amid a recent wave of worker resignation. They called for an appropriate and flexible pay scheme in which wages are paid based on workers' labor and knowledge values, sense of responsibilities, and performance results. Statistics show that from 2020 to June 2022, nearly 40,000 cadres, civil servants, and public employees resigned, especially in health and education sectors. Salary hikes in this sector are also conducted slowly since they are bound by legal regulations and dependent on the government's budget's balance capacity. In fact, salaries and incomes in the public sector are much lower than in others, the lawmaker said, recommending raising basic wages so that civil servants and public employees have more momentum to work.
Senator Patrick Leahy, President pro tempore of the U.S. Senate, has pledged to further contribute to the Vietnam-U.S. relation even when he retires.
During his recent visit to the Vietnamese embassy in the U.S., Leahy said he will continue working to maintain and promote cooperation between the two countries in the settlement of war consequences. He suggested enhancing exchanges between young generations of the two countries, saying this is the best way to strengthen the bilateral friendship. Leahy and his spouse expressed their special feelings towards Vietnam, saying they're always happy to visit the Southeast Asian nation and meet with friendly and open Vietnamese. Ambassador Nguyễn Quốc Dũng affirmed that Vietnam appreciates the contributions by the senator to the process of reconciliation and promotion of the bilateral relations. Vietnam always welcomes the senator and his wife back to Vietnam when possible, Dũng said, calling on Leahy to continue his support and contributions to the bilateral relationship while helping with the building of a network of friendship parliamentarians.
Foreign Minister of Asian countries held a special meeting on Myanmar in Jakarta, Indonesia on October 27 to deliberate on ways to better implement the 5-point consensus on the Myanmar situation, which were endorsed by the Asian Leaders Meeting on April 24, 2021.
At the gathering, top regional diplomats exchanged extensive views on how to further strengthen the implementation of the 5-point consensus to have solved Myanmar's crisis. They also gave opinions on the need to resume Myanmar's full and normal engagement with ASEAN, the importance of continuing ASEAN's community's building efforts without disruption, and the ways to facilitate and expedite the deliveries of the humanitarian assistance to the people of Myanmar. The participants agreed that ASEAN should not be discouraged, but even more determined to help Myanmar to bring about a peaceful solution the soonest possible.
According to the Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam, the international passenger market has only recovered by about 50% compared to pre-pandemic levels, while some key markets still face difficulties. Negotiations on reconnecting flights to China are therefore being actively carried out.
Regular commercial flights between Vietnam and China have been suspended since the outbreak of COVID-19 in early 2020. Vietnam Airlines has been allocated a number of flights to China each month, but not in the usual commercial form. The Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam also revealed that although some international markets have opened, travel demand remains low and the recovery has not been as expected, with only the Indian market seeing positive passenger volumes with a number of new routes.
Vietnam National University, Hanoi VNU, has 6 subjects listed in the World University Ranking by Subject 2023 by the Times Higher Education, 2 subjects higher than the previous ranking.
The subjects include business and economics, life sciences, computer sciences, engineering, physical sciences, and social sciences. Times Higher Education World University Rankings by subjects ranked 11 subjects of universities based on 3 data sources, results of surveys independently conducted by the Times Higher Education, the scientific publication database on the Scopus system under the publisher Elsevier, and data provided by the higher education institutions. The ranking results were evaluated based on 5 groups of criteria, including teaching,
research, citation, industry income, and international outlook. The Vietnam National University Hanoi has increasingly shown its position in multidisciplinary training by being recognized for only 2 subjects in 2020 to 6 in 2023.
Vietnamese airports are expected to serve 100 million passengers this year compared to the pre-pandemic level of 120 million recorded in 2019, said the Director of Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam.
According to the Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam, over 81 million passengers arrived at Vietnamese airports in the past 10 months. During the period, Vietnamese airlines carried 40 million passengers. The figure is expected to reach 55 million for the whole of this year. The domestic market grew strongly while the international market only recovered by about 50%. The reopening of the Indian market is considered a bright spot in outbound travel, with relatively positive passenger volume.
That's all for today. Thank you for being there with us and see you next time.